Time now for Eye on Africa. Coming up, Malawi gears up to go back to the polls after a presidential election that was struck out over irregularities. We'll be talking to opposition leader Lazarus Chakwera. Also reporting in South Africa on the legendary restaurant that's hoping to make a comeback in the wake of the country's strict coronavirus lockdown. And in Morocco, drought adds to the pain of the COVID pandemic, with the government predicting the worst year for the economy in 2 decades. We report on the search for new solutions to the country's water problems. Thanks for joining us. Malawi heading to the polls next week for a rerun of its presidential election. That after last year's vote was cancelled in a landmark constitutional court ruling over allegations of widespread irregularities. The poll was nicknamed the Tipex election after losing candidates said that correction fluid had been used on tallying forms sent in from some polling stations. With the aftermath of 2019's vote saw tensions as opposition supporters took to the streets. Opposition leader Lazarus Chakwera now has another opportunity to oust Peter Mutharika. And Mr. Chakwera joins us now from Lilongwe. Thanks very much for talking to us here at France 24. You helped, I guess, to bring about this ruling, which has been praised as a victory for an independent judiciary, a good example. How confident are you about the conditions this time round?
Well, I'm extremely grateful that the integrity of the courts raised the bar so high. We believe that with the new commission in place now, we should have a credible, free and fair election next week. I'm very confident because I believe the systems and the people have been so well prepared to make sure that not only will their vote count, but that vote would be protected.
And what exactly has changed on the Electoral Commission that makes you this confident that things are going in the right direction in terms of transparency, free polls, etc.?
Even though they were appointed kind of late in the game, the past 2 weeks has demonstrated that this commission is ready to deliver. They hit the ground running, and they're doing the best they can. And so I have confidence that they will do what is right.
OK, you're obviously standing again. What is your coalition offering the country?
We have truly believed that our message resonates with the population, with the Malawian people, because we want to serve them. We want to be sure that we remain united as a country and not divided or put into regions or any other form of division, and that we are offering people the opportunity to make it economically. The farmers, we are offering the farmers reduced fertilizer prices. We are offering young people jobs and capital for businesses. We are offering women the same, and we believe that they have a chance to really prosper just like everybody else, not just to have Malawi's fortunes in the hands of a few people, because the levels of poverty are astounding. The abject poverty is what angers me, and we want to be able to do something about that. So let people feed themselves. Let them do something for themselves and have the dignity returned, so that we are no longer a nation of beggars, but a nation that prospers. And so we are going to be dealing with corruption and theft of public funds, and we want to make sure that we follow the rule of law. And my colleague and I have vowed to say we are a different type of leadership that we want this country to experience, and people are excited to give us another chance.
You say you're a new kind of leadership, but you and members of your coalition, your running mate, Mr. Chilima, you're nonetheless pretty well-established figures. How can you convince people that you are genuinely offering something new and something different?
Well, they know that we represent the kind of change that they're looking for. Mr. Chilima and myself Chilima has been vice president, but pretty much sidelined and underutilized. And we make a team that establishes a synergy that is able to deliver on the promises we give the people. And they believe us because we have seen across the country how they are wanting to vote and vote change. And that change, we are the face of it.
Lazarus Chakwera, that's all we have time for. Thank you very much for joining us.
Oh, I appreciate you. Thank you.
I'm going to go to South Africa next, where we're reporting on the impact of the COVID pandemic on one of the country's most celebrated restaurants. Wolfgat, which is a 2-hour drive from Cape Town, offers a true taste of the sea. And it shot to fame just 3 years after opening when it won the 2019 World Restaurant Awards in Paris. South Africa's lockdown reducing business to a trickle, but with conditions now starting to be eased, its creator is hoping for a revival. This France 24's Laurent Berstager.
Foraging for fresh and original ingredients in the South African sea, a daily ritual for Cobus van der Merwe, head chef and owner of Wolfgat. The tiny beach restaurant was crowned best in the world last year, and after nearly 3 months of forced closure due to the COVID-19 pandemic, it's getting ready to reopen its doors.
It's a big relief. It comes with a big responsibility as well, because it's not just going back to normal. We have to operate in completely new circumstances with completely new protocols in place.
After South Africa's lockdown restrictions were partially eased in May, Van der Merwe decided to switch to a delivery menu. But with most of the orders coming in from Cape Town, a nearly 2-hour drive, Wolfgat was barely turning a profit. On Wednesday, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa said restaurants would soon be allowed to fully reopen. And while he didn't give a precise date, staff at Wolfgat were eagerly waiting for their first customers in months.
Because of the virus, it won't be full like before. Yeah, but I'm excited for the people that are coming again, because I must talking to the people. Yeah, I must to explain our food at the table.
South Africa, the country hardest hit by COVID-19 on the continent, recently saw the number of infections nearly double over a 2-week period. A worrying sanitary context that could further delay the reopening of businesses and restaurants.
Now, back in April, the Moroccan authorities declared 2020 would be the worst year for the country's economy for the past 2 decades, that due to the COVID-19 crisis, but also an ongoing drought. Abnormally high temperatures and the absence of rain have brutally affected grain production. Rural populations and small producers have been the worst hit, but the crisis is affecting the whole national economy. As Jean-Marie Lemaire and Nina Kozlowski report.
It's a painful double whammy for Moroccan farmers. On top of a pandemic, they now face a serious drought for the 2nd consecutive year. Yassine Jamali, a farmer in the Chakwera region, says he's directly affected.
So that's pretty much all we have this year. We're in the post-harvest season, so all the ground you see behind me, in a normal year, should be covered in straw up to here.
There's only one solution for those who can afford it: irrigation systems to make up for the lack of rain.
It seems like a great solution in theory, but in reality you're only displacing the problem, because one person starts digging, then 2, then 10, then 100, and then the question you have to ask is, are we not going beyond the capacity of groundwater renewal?
This analysis is shared by Professor Karouk, who says that while the country does suffer from water stress, it also has significant reserves.
Aujourd'hui, nous avons un arsenal réel de barrages. Mais tout le monde n'en profite pas de ce barrage. On a la capacité d'emmagasiner 18 milliards de mètres cubes, c'est pas rien. Nous savons qu'au nord du Maroc, il y a une abondance qui reste, qu'on n'utilise pas. Il faut la transférer. Ça s'arrête là.
The transfer of water to regions in need has been discussed since the 1980s, but never achieved. This modern crisis has also revealed another problem: the country's dependence on foreign markets.
Il est indispensable d'inverser les priorités, d'engager une politique qui, oui, permet progressivement de préserver un minimum de sécurité et donc de souveraineté alimentaire.
This challenge for Morocco could mark the start of a new agricultural and economic model for the country.
That's it for Eye on Africa. Do stay with us here on France 24.